What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph? You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight, okay, making their debut on the channel tonight, we have Black Label Society. Yes, indeed. How about that? Black Label Society making their debut on the channel. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all of the clicks and the likes and the bibbidi bop, do me a favor before you do all that stuff. Please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, if you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from MAT, and this is actually MAT's prioritized request for the month of February for being a silver tier member on the Patreon page. So, here you go, MAT. Hope you enjoy the show, man. MAT wanted to see me react to this. It is Black Label Society with a tune called A Love Unreal. Now, have I heard the song before? I don't believe so. I've heard a few songs from Black Label Society. I know I haven't heard all of them. Not even close. I've only heard I think maybe 7 or 8 songs from them. Now, I don't know. This song might have been one of them. I don't honestly know. I won't know until I start listening to it. But the name A Love Unreal does not ring any bells with me, so I think we're gonna be okay. But, you know, like I said, I've listened to a few, so this might be one of them for all I know. And if that's the case, and I start listening and I go, oh, hold it, I recognize this song, I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. This was posted by Heavy Metal Rain Man, okay? And the video has 96,000 views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. Black Label Society, A Love Unreal. Cool. I saw this and I just couldn't help but chuckle. Instead of greatest hits, they have grimmest hits. That's great. I think that's actually very, very creative. That's very slick. Nice job, guys. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
I like that.
Sadness you feel, you will no longer feel this world and all that there is. I give it to you, all to you. Let me all love and all that you are. Could you promise me as I promise you?
I like that drop to 5. So So right at the tail end of the riff. So it's root, minor 7, minor 6, minor 7, back up to the root again, minor 7, minor 6, back up to the minor 7, and then on the downbeat of 4, it quickly drops down to the 5th before it jumps back up to the root again. Just getting that quick 1 beat drop to the 5th to use it as a transition to the main riff again. Was it necessary? No, I think it could have been just fine if it had gone, root to 7 to 6 to 7 to root to 7 to 6 to 7 to root. I think that would have worked just fine. But because they added that 5th, it was very definitive. There was no question that we're going to move on. There's the transition. Because if without that 5th, let's say hypothetically, root 7 6 7, root 7 6 7. There's no definitive direction by going to the 7. We're probably going to go up to the root, more than likely. But when we get to that root note, what are we going to do? Are we going to do it again? Root 7 6 7, root 7 6 7 for a total of 4 times? Maybe. We don't know. Because they went to that 5th, they made it very clear. They made the message very clear that we're moving on. And I like that. Very subtly done, too. Not doing it for 2 beats or 4 beats, doing it just for a single beat on the last measure, the 4th beat. I think that's really slick. Good job, guys. Let's keep going here. I love that jut. Yeah, that's nice. That's thick, crunchy. Okay, let me back up a bit. I don't want to have to pause in the middle of the solo. I know this is Zakk Wylde's group. I know this is a group that he formed after being with Ozzy for a while. He wanted to kind of express, himself and let his own personal creative juices flow, and he formed this band. People often misconstrue that this is a side project for Zakk, and that's not the case at all. From what I've been told and from what I've understood, this is his baby. He plays for Ozzy. He works with Ozzy. He's for lack of a better word, he's a hired gun for Ozzy, but he's not. That's not his main gig. This is his main gig. So. And that's fine. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that at all. It happens with bands. I've been in bands where that's happened, where, I'm never the one that leaves. It's not me because I'm not a songwriter, but we'll have a certain direction that we as a band want to go with our songwriting. And it's usually one of the guitar players. I don't know why, but it is. We have one of our guitar players who would say, well, I want to play something a little heavier, something, or they want to get a little more proggy, or, they want to add some country into their songs, right? And we're just like, well, that's not what this band is, Now, we're not saying you can't do your own thing. Sure, do your own thing by all means, but, that's not going to happen in this band because we have a very clear direction and we have a very clear vision and a goal of what we want to accomplish. So I never hold any ill will towards, musicians wanting to do their own thing and do their own solo project. My problem is when they quit over it and they say, well, that's not what I want to do. So forget you guys, I'm out of here. And then they go and start up a new band or whatever. And things end on bad terms. Now, we've had it happen also where they do leave, but it's on amicable terms. It's on good terms. I have no problem with that. That's fine. If that's what they want to do, cool. But when they leave on bad terms and then, they start, throwing slander at us and slinging mud at us, and that's when things get ugly, and that's when things are no longer fun or amicable. So, but from what I've understood, that was never the case between Zach and Ozzy. Ozzy understood, and he gave, from what I understood, he gave Zach his blessing. So, anyway, I could be wrong about that, but I don't think I am. So, anyway, let's keep going here. Guitar solo time. Back straight. Okay. I like it. I do. Coming out of that guitar solo, which we're going to talk about in the review, I promise. Don't worry. Don't worry about that. Coming out of the guitar solo into that 12/8 feel, shuffle feel, increased tempo, nice, really nice. It broke up the song. I know the song is what, 6 minutes long, a little over 6, like 6:05. When you have longer songs like that, it can get monotonous. Playing the same feel, the same patterns, the same everything, going on for 6 minutes, going on and on and on. It can get very monotonous. It absolutely can. It's one thing if the song is 3 minutes and 30 seconds or 4 minutes, but when you get to that, when you get past 5, it can start to drone. So throwing that little little, I guess, back for lack of a better term, they threw that little detour in. We're going to take the scenic route. And they threw in that 12A feel, man. That was nice. Really, really nice. Did not see it coming. But here's the thing. And I think what really kind of impressed me about that is not only how smoothly they made it sound, how long they made it last. They kept it going, but they came back to the original straight ahead, slower tempo 4/4 dirgy feel. But they didn't do it too soon. They didn't just go to the 12A feel for just like, 4 measures or 8 measures. So they were there for a while. Gave the listeners a chance to get into that new groove before they decided to flip the switch and go back to the old groove. You know what I mean? So that was smart. They did that well, and I absolutely appreciate it. So nice job on their part. Got that. I just love that 12A, that shuffle, do da do da do da. Man, that's a nice feel, man. Really is. Let's finish this out and we'll get to the review. Let me back up a little bit and
sadness you feel, you will no longer feel this world and all that there is. I give it to you, all to you. Let me all love and all that you are. Could you promise me as I promised you?
yeah. Three, 4, 3, 4. Yeah. Ending on that 3/4, 3/4. Smart move. Usually I like it when bands will end on the downbeat and just hit that hit the main chord. Wow, just hit that chord and let it, naturally decay or, fast linear fade or whatever. No, ending on the do do. Yeah. Very effective ending. I hate to say it, folks, but I don't see this review being short. This is probably going to be one of my reviews that goes for over 10 minutes. I'm sorry. I'm just letting everybody know up front. I don't know how I could make this under 10. I just don't see it happening. So let me get my thoughts together. I'll see you in the review and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was Black Label Society with A Love Unreal. This was a request from MAT, and this was actually MAT's prioritized request for the month of February for being a silver tier member on the Patreon page. So there you go, MAT. Hope you enjoyed the show, man. I just don't see how I can keep this one short. I don't. I'm going to try. I'm going to do my best to try to get this under 10, but folks, I don't see it happening. So you might want to get comfortable. You maybe get something to drink, maybe something to snack on, because something just tells me we're going to be here for a while. Let's start off with the score and we'll go from there and see where the currents take us, I guess. On a scale of 1 to 10, I am going to give that a 7.7. Yep. 7.7. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay. First things first, a 7.7. What does that mean? Well, a 7.7 would translate to a really good scale rating. So overall, I think this was a really good song. It would also get 4 out of 5 stars and a B+ letter grade. So there you go. A 7.7. Really good skill rating, 4 to 5 stars, and a B+ letter grade. Now, how did I come up with that score? So glad you asked. Overall, it's a really good song, okay? Now, if we're looking at the chordal progression of the song, am I going to sit here and try to pretend like I'm blown away by the chord progression. No, I'm not. It's a very simple chord progression. Root, 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 root. So you're on the root for a little bit there to the 7/8. Root, 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 3/4-3. Root, 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 7/8. And then 3/4, 3/4, rinse and repeat. I mean, that's pretty much the main riff in a nutshell. Now, is there anything wrong with that? No, nothing at all. Are you kidding? It sounds really nice. I like it. It sounds really good. I'm just not gonna sit there and go, I'm impressed by it because it's a very simple riff. But like I've always said on the channel, simple can be effective when it's done properly. This is absolutely done properly. Mainly because for two factors. The vocals over the top of that riff, when the riff continues on when the vocals are added, the vocals definitely help. The main melodic line is well established over that riff due to the vocals coming in, so that helps. The other thing that really helps is that guitar tone. Man. Zakk Wylde's always been known for having a really nice crunchy guitar tone, and it was very evident here, especially hitting those 16 notes, man, before going up to the 7/8. Nice foundation, a really nice foundation for the rest of the riff, and I'm really glad to see that he came back to it before the second part of it, so that was really nice. Vocally, I believe, I don't know 100% for certain. I don't know a whole lot about Black Label Society. I know that they exist. I've heard a couple of songs from them, and I know it's Zakk Wylde's project. This is his main gig. I've heard he has a vocalist, but I've also heard that he does the vocals himself. I'm not 100% sure what the case is. Maybe when they started out, he was doing the vocals and then they got a vocalist, or maybe they've had a vocalist all along, or maybe he's done the vocals all along. I don't know. I'm sure there are fans of Black Label Society who could fill in the blanks there for me. And believe it or not, I would actually really appreciate that in the comments if you guys could fill in the blanks for me, because that's actually been a question I've had for a very long time, ever since I first heard Black Label Society. What was the, I think the very first song I ever heard from Black Label Society was Bleed For Me. And I dug that tune, man. That was a great tune. Yeah, I'm not sure what the story is when it comes to vocals on this. Drums sounded really good. I love what was happening in the drumming, especially when we did that switch to that 12A feel, which we're going to talk about in detail in a little bit. Same thing with the bass, locked in with the drums, filling out that bottom end, really adding to the chunkiness of the song and the fullness and thickness of the song. Guitar playing, I already talked about it, is in a generalization. Now, let's talk about that guitar solo, shall we? Zakk Wylde has the dubious distinction. I don't know if it depends on your point of view, I guess, but for me personally, I would definitely give him a gold star for having this distinction. In my personal opinion, one of the top 3 guitar solos I've ever heard in a song, as far as eliciting an emotional response. There are 3 guitar solos that every time I listen to the guitar solos, they choke me up. I may not shed tears, but I will at least choke up every single time I hear them. And he's got one of them, the guitar solo in No More Tears. Man, that guitar solo, I love that guitar solo. He really understands how to make a wah pedal work. He really does. And he knows how to walk that fine line between using it just enough and overusing it. I don't think I've ever heard a guitar solo from him where he overused the wah, but he used it plenty. He used it frequently throughout the solo, but never in a way that made me go, okay, it's starting to sound a little monotonous. It's starting to sound a little one-trick pony-ish. No, that's never been the case for Zakk. He has a very clear understanding of how to make that wah sing, and just how much to push down on it to get just the right amount of expression, just the right amount of the envelope to use. But he uses all of it. It's not just, all the way down, all the way forward, all the way down, all the way forward. He's got mastery of like all 280 moving parts within that expression wheel. So when I heard the guitar solo start, I'm like, I'm willing to bet the wah's, oh, there's the wah. Okay, let's see what he does. Let's see where he uses it. And he uses the entire pedal, man. He really does. A really nice guitar solo. Very expressive. Extremely varied in how he was playing. Sometimes just sustaining a note with, fast vibrato, sometimes with slow vibrato, sometimes no vibrato at all. Just a nice long bend up and a long bend out of it. Or he's doing his, hammer-on pull-offs or whatever, just making that guitar, like an auctioneer, and just with the wah pedal going with it. No, he always puts out a good solo. He always does. Not his best solo ever, but I mean, it was a good solo for him without question. The other thing that was really kind of a factor for me in this song was that 12/8 section, where we completely take a detour and we decide to take the roundabout route. We're coasting along, we're here, we need to get to here. Now we could just continue on, but no, Zach decided to go, and then we got to here. So it's like, okay, well, that just happened. Now here's the thing with that 12/8 section. I'm really glad he did it. It's a 6-minute long song. When your song goes 4 minutes, 4.5 minutes, okay, that's fine. Playing the same riff over and over again, it'll work. But once you get to like the 5 minute to 5.5 minute mark, it can start to sound pretty monotonous. Listening to the main riff that he had, in all honesty, as much as I love that, listen to that for 6 minutes straight, I could see myself getting bored. I could see that happening. So having that little deviation to that 12/8 section, I think was very, very smart. It kept the song fresh. It kept the song going in a way that kept the listener engaged and kept us wondering, what is this? Where are we going? Are we going to do something else crazy? Are we going to take another detour? We don't know. We're just along for the ride. Zach's the one in the pilot seat. So it was a nice switch up. I like it, and I really like that shuffle feel that the drummer was establishing. Nice, man. Really, really nice. Now, overall, I think this is a really good song, man. I really do. I dug listening to it, and yeah, I would absolutely listen to this again for sure. I would be willing to put this, long drive playlist for sure. I would definitely put it on there. Driving around town. Yeah. I guess I could give it a shot there too. Jim, nah, little too dirgy, little too heavy, a little too not enough drive there. But it's still going on 2 out of 3. And folks, if you're hitting 2 out of 3 every time you come up to bat, you're gonna be just fine, kid. You have a future in the major leagues. So, 7.7. I feel good with that score, and that's where we're going to stay. So let's wrap everything up here in a nice shiny bow, shall we? We have a 7.7, which is a really good skill rating, 4 to 5 stars, and a B+ letter grade. Take your pick. I don't care. Whichever one of those floats your boat. Final word, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hope I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, then I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, well then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for the night, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later, peace.